immigrants should just go back to their country. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you a secret. A lot of immigrants actually do want to go back to their country. Why don't they just go back? So there's this thing called colonialism. Have you heard of it before? No, you haven't. So your country went to their country, they took power, took control, tried to push their culture onto these people in this country for years and years and years. That's what would happen. And then before they left, they took this country's valuables, assets, wealth, gold, and brought everything back to your country. So if you really want these immigrants out of your country, I think the easiest and fastest way to do that is if your country gave back every wealth, assets, money, gold that they took. Oh, asylum seekers and refugees, you don't want them coming in. The reason why they come over is because their countries aren't really safe anymore. Some countries bomb their countries, so they have no houses, they have no hospitals, they have no schools, their pavements ruined, everything is rubble. There's also this thing where certain countries are responsible for an increased escalation, increase of conflict in their countries, so these people don't feel safe in their own country anymore. And that's why they come to other countries that feel safer to them, to be safe. But if you told these people responsible, these countries responsible to stop, then I would think there would be a decline of asylum seekers and refugees. Which country is responsible? Maybe you should talk to your government regarding that. These brown and black people are just taking your jobs. In our hospital, it's infested with Filipino nurses. It's like 90% Filipino nurses. What is that? Yeah, all the doctors you know are immigrants and brown and black. So I'm going to tell you an insider fact. So the NHS is heavily, severely understaffed. I would recommend that you apply to be a nurse or doctor. There's a lot of jobs going and they'd be very, very, very grateful. You don't have qualifications. You don't have experience. It's totally okay because there's a lot more roles within the NHS that doesn't require qualifications or experience, and there's jobs going, so you can apply. You have a criminal record, but it's the brown and black people taking your jobs, yeah.
So if you're unaware, the UK riots are happening right now because of that 17-year-old who killed 3 girls about 5 days ago now, which is absolutely horrible. So my condolences to the family. But the main issue why conflict is happening because the media put out there that this 17-year-old is a supposed asylum seeker, a migrant, which the far right group ran with and decided to go to go berserk because of that. And Keir Starmer, our Prime Minister, actually backed that statement at the time. But a couple of days ago, he said, oh, this is a mistake. I apologize. He's not an asylum seeker. He's born here. His parents are from Rwanda. So he's actually a British citizen. And the far-right group, they don't care. They're not trying to hear it. So they're still causing havoc and using that as an excuse to run rampage in the streets as of current. It's as if the far-right group were waiting for the perfect moment to pounce and just go run rampage in the streets. They're using this, even though Keir Starmer confirmed that he's not a migrant, he's born here, that they were waiting for a time to be openly racist and to be openly marginalizing groups. Even if you're not Muslim, if you're a minority in general, you can't be in the streets, all these things. And somehow they want to correlate that we're taking their jobs, all these old things that they used to say, now bringing it up again. It's almost like they were waiting covertly under the covers to then pounce out and use this little reason, of which is a mistake, calling him an asylum seeker, to then come and put this false narrative saying that all migrants are bad, migrants are the issues of this country, when in the first place it was just a mistake. It was a mistaken identity of him being a migrant. And this just goes to show the power of how social media can really push a narrative and cause problems. And the fact that Keir Starmer also backed the statement is where the issue is as well. If you're someone who's of leadership, you have to make sure that when you speak, your facts are correct. Because Keir Starmer made this little mistake, this has now led a whole group to go against a lot of people in this country simply because the Prime Minister himself decided to go with one narrative. And he now wants to apologize at this time, and it's just too late. It's too late. As media journalists and as a leader, I think there should be more regulations on how they portray perpetrators, how they portray victims, what they say, and make sure it's factual. Because now they're angry. Oh, the Prime Minister's now angry. Oh, these riots, these thugs, these this, these that, but you caused it because of what you said, and the media ran with it as well. So now you're going to go blaming everyone else, but you caused it with your words. They need to be more careful as a leader. You know that your words hold weight, and now you want to come and say, "Oh, we're so afraid. We need to take care of the community," but you caused it with your words. As a leader, you should be more cautious. But this is what we're dealing with today, guys. It's actually so bad that it's got out of hand this much. But more of us need to be speaking out on these topics, because we can't just let things just go past our eyes and feel like it's normal. It's not normal. It's horrible. And the media, the politicians just need to do better in general. I'm not taking away from the fact that he committed a crime, and that's absolutely horrible. But when you put a false narrative out and it puts a whole other group in danger, you're doing too much right now. But yeah, that's the backstory.
Do not travel to the UK right now. If you haven't already seen, the UK is a complete and utter mess right now. There are riots going on all over the country, and these are anti-Muslim riots and anti-immigrant riots. And this is essentially where these far-right groups are attacking mosques and Muslim-run businesses, as well as hotels that currently have migrants vacant. If you haven't already seen any of the videos or the footage of any of these riots, it's absolutely outrageous, and it's an absolute utter mess right now here. So if you're traveling right now, if you live in the UK and you're currently traveling, don't be in a rush to come back. And if you've been thinking about traveling and you do want to go backpack traveling over to the other side of the world, like Southeast Asia, now is the perfect time to go. I highly recommend it. At this moment in time, it is most likely going to be much safer out in Southeast Asia than it is in the UK right now.
It breaks my heart. It makes me feel sad. That's how it makes me feel. I have a daughter, she's mixed race. So obviously, it's difficult for her as well. I think it's horrible and it's sad, if I'm being honest.
I think it's racist. I think it's a racist move. I just think they're picking on everybody and just smash. Why would they want to? I mean, I believe, and I don't know how true this is, but we've been told that they're going to have a go at Aldi German. What's all that about? I really don't get it. I don't know where they come. They need to get a job. They need to get a job.
But there's obviously no justification for threats and intimidation, and the people who perpetrate that kind of thing are clearly stupid.
We're upholsterers, we work down here in the mill down here. But like I say, everyone's evacuated and that. Everyone's evacuated, everyone's scared, it's just fear-mongering, innit? That's what it is, it's fear-mongering at the end of the day.
I'm a Scouser, born and bred in the city of Liverpool. I've always loved Liverpool. I've classed Liverpool to be my home city, my place and where I was raised, where I was born, where I can flourish and where I can succeed in. But seeing the events that have just taken place in the city of Liverpool, and not just the city of Liverpool, but in the UK as a whole, it's really scary seeing the people rioting, looting the shops.
If this gets torched or whatever else happens, destroyed, I've got 30 years gone up in smoke. And I'm just a working lad. All I am, I'm a working guy. Part of a team who work, so we'll all be out of work.
The UK is finished. If you're currently living in the UK, you might want to reconsider because it's about to get a whole lot worse. So this graph shows you the standard of living in the UK and it predicts it over the next few years up until 2028. Just take a look at that. This massive drop after 2023 shows how bad it's gonna get. The standard of living in the UK is going down the drain. And take a look at this. If you wanted to rent a 1-bedroom flat in suburban London, not even in central London, it will cost you 2.2k per month. Honestly, how can anyone afford this? Because the average salary in the UK per year after tax is 28k. And if you're renting a 1-bedroom flat, you would only have £130 per month left over for everything else. So no wonder so many people are in debt. Taxes are likely to go up, inflation is at an all-time high, and rent prices are unaffordable. There are so many different countries around the world where you can have a good standard of living. So why would you choose to live in the UK? It's already the second most unequal country in the world. Because honestly, if you stay in the UK now, it's just gonna get so much worse. And yes, all countries do have their problems, but the way I see it, the UK is finished, and it's not getting better anytime soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you like the video, follow for more content.